I looked under my daughter's bed to see what she was hiding, and what I found made me sick. Last week, my 10-year-old daughter Lucy came home with clumps of her hair missing from scalp. Before I could ask her what was going on, she sprinted up the stairs and slammed her door shut. "Leave me alone, Daddy, I don't want to talk about it." I wanted to tell myself that something probably happened after a weird game with her friends, or maybe it was an accident, but there was a pattern. For the last 2 months, Lucy had come home sick every single day. I'd let her stay home whenever she showed symptoms and make sure she was 100% healthy before sending her to school again, but every time, without fail, she'd get sick again. She was never healthy for longer than 3 days at a time. I figured it was just her immune system, but now with the clumps of hair missing, I knew something darker was going on. I went upstairs and knocked on her door. "Honey, what happened at school today?" No response. I asked again. Still nothing. "I'm not mad, sweetie. I just need to know what's going on." That's when I heard it. She started crying, the kind of crying that would make any father's stomach drop with anxiety. "I told you to leave me alone, Daddy." I didn't sleep that night. My mind kept racing with every horrible possibility. Was someone hurting her? Was she being bullied? Was a teacher doing something? I had no idea what was happening to my little girl, and she wouldn't let me help her. The next morning, I called her best friend's mom. I figured maybe she must know something. I tried to sound casual, asked if she had mentioned anything weird going on at school. There was this long pause. Then she said something that made my blood run cold. "Actually, my daughter came home with hair missing on Tuesday. I thought she'd cut it herself, but she wouldn't tell me why." My heart started pounding. Lucy wasn't the only one involved in whatever was going on. I spent the next 2 hours calling every parent on the class contact list. Every single one had the same story. Their kid had come home with chunks of hair missing at some point in the last 2 weeks. And when I mentioned the constant sickness, they all confirmed that too. Their kids had been getting sick over and over for months. None of us had connected the dots until now. I felt sick to my stomach. Something was happening to an entire classroom of children, and not one of us knew what it was. The next morning, 6 of us showed up at the principal's office. We weren't asking anymore. We were demanding answers. The principal looked genuinely concerned. He pulled up the security footage from the past month. Classrooms, hallways, playground. We watched for over an hour. Nothing. The teachers weren't doing anything wrong. No older kids were going near them. No strangers on campus. There was literally no evidence of anything happening to these kids. The principal promised to investigate further, but I could see on his face that he was just as confused as we were. That night, I tried asking Lucy one more time. I researched on WikiHow on how to deal with situations like this and went for a softer approach. I sat on the edge of her bed and took a deep breath. "Whatever is going on, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be disappointed. I just need to know that you're safe, honey." She looked at me with these big, terrified eyes and said, "Daddy, please just drop it. If you find out what's going on, I'll get in so much trouble. No one will want to be friends with me anymore." That sentence kept me up all night. Why would she get in trouble? What could she possibly be hiding that would make everyone hate her? The next day, while she was at school, I did something I thought I'd never do. I searched her room. I felt guilty the entire time, but I needed answers. I checked her desk drawers, under her mattress, nothing. Then I looked under her bed. There was an old shoebox pushed all the way to the back. I pulled it out and was instantly hit with the smell of mold. I opened it, and what I found inside made me question everything I thought I knew about parenting. It was a massive wad of gum, like the size of a tennis ball. All the pieces were different colors. It was wrapped in plastic, and stuck to it was strands of hair. Hair from what looked like dozens of different kids. Blonde hair, brown hair, black hair. When Lucy got home, I showed her what I found. She immediately burst into tears and finally told me everything. Apparently 2 months ago, some kids started a challenge. It was called Double It and Give It to the Next Person. The rules were simple. You chew the gum, add your own piece to make it bigger, and pass it to the next person. You weren't part of the cool group unless you'd participated. So every single kid in the class had been sharing this same disgusting wad of gum for 8 weeks straight. "How does this explain the clumps of hair missing?" I asked, almost laughing from how crazy the entire thing was. Turns out the gum kept getting stuck in the kids' hair during recess, so they'd been cutting it out themselves with safety scissors and hiding the evidence. No predator, no bully, no abusive teacher, just kids being absolutely disgusting and weirdly impressive at keeping a secret. I was weirdly impressed my Lucy kept it going for this long. Papa ain't raised no quitter.